all of our businesses of entrepreneurs and how they're coming out of this situation. Essentially, we're also looking at ways in which people have begun to diversify because change has been thrust upon all of us, and one way or the other, it's either you change or you remain where you are. And so we're looking at change in different ways. And in the conversation on this, we are also looking out for people who are looking to do things in different ways. And our guest on the show today, I'll be introducing him shortly, is one such person who has also moved from his, from his core business, as we like to say it, and has begun to do something for people who have been affected by COVID in the society. Today, we look at our numbers for COVID, and we're in excess of 25,000 people affected by COVID in terms of confirmed cases. We're also looking at some 21,000 plus cases of recoveries, per the statistics, but sadly we're looking at about 139 deaths, and those numbers continue to go up. We have with us here on the show today, and I'm excited because the traction before this show from last night to today has been through the roof. We're joined on the show today by a wonderful resource person in his life. He's in showbiz, he's in entertainment, but his name is Livingston Setikla. Livingston Setikla. For those of you who know him, he's also the one and the same Stonebwoy in the music industry. He's a dancehall reggae artist, and many of his songs resonate with almost all of us. Livingston has done something wonderful, which is why we have him here on the show. So he actually came together with a couple of his, affiliate companies, and they put together a training for entrepreneurship in different fields of endeavor, in modeling, in fashion, designing, in epoxy, floors, in all sorts of vocational, handy professions, if you like, things that people can easily do and make money out of it. And he trained these people from his own resources to help them out there to get them start something for themselves. And when this lockdown came, it affected all of us in one way or the other. Most of Ghana's population really work in the informal sector. And so a lot of people sell things. They retail items. They're in the buying and selling environment. And so if you ask people not to work for some time, whatever the reason is, it means that people's disposable income and revenues are going to be affected. We have many people today who are in that category. And this is what Livingston did. Came together with a couple of his affiliate companies, and they helped to train a lot of young people. Today we're going to be listening to his story, why he did what he did, what the real story is, and how others can learn from it. And then obviously, this is Stonebwoy we're talking about, so we're going to get him at some point to try and do a freestyle for us. Yesterday, I put up something on my wall, social media, and I was asking, which is your favorite Stonebwoy song? So you can keep that. We're going to get interactive at some point in the show, and depending on which one he chooses to do, he can do a few lines freestyle. So should I say, Livingston, you're welcome to Masterclass? Right. Should I call you Livingston or should I call you Stonebwoy? I'm super excited. I spent the whole of last night trying to research my guest for today, and so I fell asleep listening to some of your songs. My favorite song from last night was Tough Seed. So maybe you'll do a few lines for me before we continue. But before we get to that side, we want to hear your story. So before I ask you any question at all, what's this thing that we hear? Joy carried the story that you actually put together a training of some sort, and you called it Beam Skills. And essentially you helped to train a lot of young and then you sort of imparted skills into them. Obviously, you also had to work with people who were, professionals in this field of endeavor to transfer those skills. But tell us your story in your own words. What is it that you did?
You have actually summarized that already because you're a business person, you run a business show, so you will be able to find the correct terminologies to, really describe some of the things. But in my simple way, I only did a simple thing by calling professionals who know how, to meet up with people who might need to know a skill or two, to be able to help them in their lives. That's all I did, simply put.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so that's a summary of it. But, the thing, there's one thing I always say here on the show, that life is too short for us to all make the same mistakes. So someone is listening to you, they're an up-and-coming musician, or just today, they listen to the show today and they say, listen, I want to be like Stonebwoy when I grow up, so I'm going to start today. Just walk us through exactly what you did and what took place during the training, what skills were impacted, how many people attended, stuff like that. Just a general step by step, if you like, in your own words, so that people can sort of imagine what it is that you did.
Thank you very much. As the aim of this little, movement, which is the BIM skills, which is a part of I will say, the obligations of my own Livingston Foundation, we seek to give free skill training in the areas of small-scale farming activities, entrepreneurial development training, food and agro-food processing, fashion accessories production of household cleaning products, natural cosmetic production, fashion and designing. This is actually all what the BIM skills is about, literally. So we started the first edition in Ashaiman, where I come from. You know how I've always been biased in quote when it comes to kickstarting of any initiative that I think will help people. I always take it home first, because I think they say you dance a yard before you dance abroad, so that with the support from home, it can always, charity, they say, always begins at home. So I beg to continue that legacy. So we sent in a flyer, and then we had people call to book a slot for free, and then we were able to lay hands on a few professionals who were soap making, sanitizers and hand wash, some liquid hand wash, and then fabrication of some metal stuff, or this glasswork stuff, and then the epoxy thing as well. So these were the people who made it to this particular training. But like I began with the whole scope of which BIM skills is here for. Like I mentioned, the whole process and all those ones. That is some of the things that the BIM skills initiative seeks to do. But on that day, we're able to, as the first step, we're able to do these 4 things, I think 4 or 5 things, and people liked it. The turnout was amazing. The fact that it is a birth of a new idea, I'm glad, and we are all happy that it has kick-started, which I think Ghana and the business world have actually applauded, my this little initiative or this little idea that will not be the first ever of its kind, but amongst us as artists and musicians will be one of the nicest things that has happened, away from just doing anything musical or training people about music or just what I do. So I'm really glad for.
I mean, in your submission, you talk about doing something little, but the way the world sees it is that, there's this Chinese proverb that says, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, but if you teach him how to fish, you feed him for life. What you've done is that you've given people a skill with which they can make their own money and take care of their own families, and not just themselves. So if you had, let's say, X number of people in there, literally what you've done is X number of people times the number of their dependents. And that's a skill that they will have for life. Now, I'm interested in this. Because, I mean, even if you take Ashaiman alone, there's a lot of people in Ashaiman. You couldn't have had everyone there, obviously, for the reason of COVID alone, because of social distancing and all of that. How did you come to select beneficiaries, and was there a sort of pre-qualification process?
Thank you. What it is that I think every able-bodied person who is mentally sane qualifies actually to join. And we put out a number for that purpose, which people called to book the slot. So I have like a able and hardworking team who work for the Livingston Foundation. They actually saw through the internal vibes and then selected these people, and we had like more than, I think, above almost 70 people, that was recorded.
Wow.
And we had to stay. Thank you. We had to stay within the 100 limit as well, and make sure it is well spaced. So if you saw any video, so you see that it was a board that we actually hired, and so we obeyed all the corona protocol as well, because we didn't want to flout those rules, because it's for our own good, as the government and the president has encouraged and has stated that we all should obey. So there were more than 60 people in attendance, 70 plus, I guess, in attendance.
Right. I mean, I'm going to ask you an obvious question. I mean, we always say that if you know the answer, don't ask. But I'm asking because some people who may be listening.
Yeah, not everybody knows it. Yeah.
Why did you choose to call it Beam Skills? And what does the acronym? I know my old students group are going to kill me for asking this question. What does the acronym Beam mean? Forgive me, I don't know what it means.
No problem, sir. No problem. I'm really, it's another opportunity to express myself. So, Beam is actually, it started as a sound that I got identified with, and then to take you back a little about the history of how it even came about. The dancehall culture and the reggae culture, even the music culture itself has musicians pick a slogan, that they are known with. Like if you say all for real, you are talking about for real sponsor.
Yeah.
And there are little things
what
that
time
people
it is.
identify others with. So yes, what time it is, you're talking about Sarkodie.
Yeah.
You hear Pa, it's my brother, Tatawale. And you hear me, it's Stonebwoy.
Right. So it's what it is.
It was developed around that, the sound, the music. And then now when it began to gain ground, people began to even call me Beam and not Stone and Boy and the rest. I realized that, okay, let me put a meaning to this. And so now, what it is that I said I'm a very big believer of God and, and life and nature and how things turn. So I tend to thank God a lot for how far we have come. I'm that kind of a person. So I said, bless His Imperial Majesty, thank God every time. And He says, Imperial Majesty is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords.
Right.
Even the Bible says, and so the BHIM is how I spelled it.
So for all those of you who are Stonebwoy fans, who are saying Bim, 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 you don't know what it means. It means bless His Imperial Majesty. Stonebwoy, thank you for that education this afternoon. Now, obviously, I understand why you call it Beam Skills, because it's part of your brand. It's part of your brand.
Yeah, exactly. So I was coming to that as well. So after explaining what Beam actually stands for, now this is Stonebwoy, and we have to find a way to merge all these things together in brand building, and also that capacity that still has a connection to all of my subsidiary brands that come under me. So that's how you have the Beam Skills, so that it still gets that buzz running through. But it's not only for Beam Natives at all. It is for the whole of Ghana. It's only identifying who is in charge or where it's coming from.
Right. Yeah. Let me ask you this, because, what you're doing is brilliant. There are a few other companies like Cosmos who are also doing this, Total who are also doing this. A few other companies are doing it. So it's really wonderful. But have you thought of putting in place, or as part of your delivery, are you looking at ensuring that there's a success rate? Because you see, so sometimes we do things out of a good heart. And we pour resources, a lot of resources into people. But not everybody wants to be saved. Sadly so.
Yeah.
So what as part of your plan, what have you put in place to ensure that there's a success rate for the investment you have
All right. Made? Thank you very much. So right now at the start, was last week that we did this. So the foundation has made sure that there is a constant connection with these people and follow-ups. And some of these ones are going to get employed by the same people who came to teach them stuff.
Right.
So in the end, I think that for me, aside having to make sure that everything behind the scene is well fit business-wise, because the investment and all things we put into this, and having to trace the fact that these people have been put to use, I will also say this simply, that I think it's really much up to those who find time to come and get these free skills to actually not waste it. Because it is not such that we come into a place and then we throw. It's not like we come and then we throw money so that those who like it pick it, those who don't like it don't pick it. This is actually a thing where you have to call, to get selected or whatever. Maybe as the time goes on, we would have to get some criteria with which we select these people as well, to tone the numbers down, so that we know that whoever is going to be given this skill for free is actually going to utilize it and push it to the serious about it. So I should believe that the first edition that has found some people of Ashaiman call to join to come up are serious people, because I don't believe that anybody will pick up a phone and call and make time to want to come and learn a skill except they want to. So
let me put you on the spot a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Ashaiman is where you come from. Ashaiman is your home. But then you have plans of taking this to other regions also.
Yes,
but you are not done with Ashaiman yet. I'm listening to you this afternoon.
Exactly.
I'm from Ashaiman. I'm saying, listen, I'm looking out for when next Stonebwoy is going to do this. And already he's talking about doing other regions. How are you going to manage this?
All right, thank you very much. This, as obvious as it looks, is a big task, and it's a big work. Somebody also said the other day that it'd be like Stonebwoy, they do the MP work for them, which is not absolute. Which is not a lie, absolutely, but in the end, where I find myself is that I'll also continue to contribute my quota to these things, because most often the assignment to the World Show that I've been doing for 7 years running, I've always informed the authorities, but I've had very little or no support from the authorities themselves, but people who love to join in, like some few stakeholders from assignment in assignment, I would have to give them credit. They join in, and so if we are going to wait to have the state or the city or those authorities as well come on board before we're able to do some things, it may not be achievable. But in the end, this won't be the first one only for assignment itself, because I will not, to be honestly, be able to train or have everybody involved on the ground. But the good thing is, since it is a thing that we're doing, guess what? There are numbers out there. Somebody may continue to even call now that the program is over, and we may actually get to listen to them and see their space of interest, and also connect them with, these people that we know that came to do the training and all. Some of these ones have schools. Some of these ones have training centers themselves. So we also serve as a catalyst to also connect these people to them with the foundation. So that's one way we can settle that issue of having to go back there to make sure everybody is fed before we move to the next.
So again, I mean, we're talking from the perspective so far of beneficiaries. There are companies who are listening to you, and some people just need someone to start, someone to take the lead so that they can join in. Some people don't want to take the front row. So there are companies listening to you this afternoon. They say, listen, that young man is doing a great job in that community. I want to be a part of it, either by coming to offer training myself, or either by giving resources, or either by employing graduates from the program. How can other businesses partner you to help affect our communities like this?
Thank you very much. We really so much need these companies and these bodies and entities and agents and individuals to actually help us help one another, So you are right. How they can is first and foremost I might leave some numbers as well.
I think you should go ahead and just drop some numbers. Just go ahead and drop some numbers.
But first and foremost, I would have to say a big thank you to Unity Link, Money Transfer, Uncle Douglas himself and his whole team for supporting the initial one as well. And I also have to pat myself on the back for, the Beam Shop and the Burlington Music Group, which are the things that I own as well on the music side. Also does well to keep supporting financially and all these ones to get these things going. So I say thanks to Unity Link for that, for being a company that actually came on board within a short period of time to also let us going. So I'll put up a number. This is a number to call and an email, please, if you do not mind.
Go ahead. Please go ahead.
All right. So you can call 020 8030 734. For inquiries.
If you can just take that for me again, very slowly, so my listeners can write it down.
All right. 020 80 30 734. And then I might need the email as well.
Yes, please go ahead.
Right now. Hold on. we could continue so I get the
Fair,
right.
fair, fair. Okay, so before I ask, I mean, I ask my next question. I want us to get interactive because a lot of people have been waiting for this show and to get interactive. We'll be opening the phone line shortly. But if you've just tuned in, this is Masterclass here on your superstation Joy 99.7. We're spending time here on the show with Stonebwoy, who's known in his real. How many? Okay, I'm not going to mention his name. Send me a message when I drop the WhatsApp line. If you know his real name, send me a message, and he just might decide to give you a copy of his latest song. We played it before we started the show. But the numbers to call 0302-216-541. That's 0302-216-541. Or you can send us a comment on 0244-340-437. That's 0244-340-437. We've also got some interesting news for you from our sponsors from Goyle. Going cashless has never been this convenient and exciting. Goyle's e-payment systems is now compatible with G-Link, the national payment platform. Now you can use your G-Link card on Goyle POS machine to purchase fuel. GH-Link cards offer additional payment options for fuel purchases at Goyle stations in addition to the Go card. Every fuel purchased is recorded automatically on your monthly bank statement, helping cardholders track and manage their expenses. So go ahead and use your GH-Link card to buy fuel and all lubricants from any of Goyle's over 400 stations across Ghana. Go cashless and protect yourself, and stick to all the COVID-19 protocols in these times. Goyle, they say good energy. Goyle, Yenara, Yedia. The phone lines are now open. You can pick up that phone and give us a call, or you can send us a WhatsApp on 0244-340-437. I've got people people are already trying to guess your name, Stonebwoy. your name in real life.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure that my producer will handle that. And while you're sending me his real name in, if you don't spell it right, it's also wrong. I think I should even get you to try and pronounce it and send it to us as a video. Because
I should say. Because
it's the way you pronounce your name, isn't it?
No. It's actually like it's Satekla.
But don't pronounce it
Sete. You know, people spell it Sete, but it's Satekla.
Okay.
So you might as well take it 223 if you want to pronounce it well, like 223, because it's an error name, so it's.
Super. You see, because you started spelling it, people have started deleting what they. Okay, Stonebwoy, let's talk a bit about your music. I mean, you're a musician, you're a reggae dancehall artist. We've been talking here on the show about, and of course, so talk to me very briefly about, while we wait for the phones to start ringing, the business aspect of music as you run it, your experience, your personal experience. Just very briefly. I mean, I know you can't talk about everything, but just in summary, how does a musician monetize their music?
Monetize, as in, if you specifically like ending on monetize will entail the recording and the reporting of media of musical material or creative material by the users, you know, who are being authorized by authorized users, so to say, you know, all across boards, whether by TV, film, radio, whoever, you know, that is what monitoring will be like. So then, in the end, your company or your DSPs know what has gone in, where it's coming from, the statements from wherever, because music material is actually, except you give it for free, it's supposed to be paid for, you know, as it's being used. So that's how you monitor the stuff. And unfortunately, in our system here, in Ghana here, we have not been able to build that system that will accurately, you know, turn our airtime and radio play into the equivalent amount that we need to make, you know, as musicians or as revenue. So we all are depending still on the royalty system as well, which is controlled by GAMO in Ghana as the highest legal body to do that. And also GAMO is also struggling so much, also trying to fix things, but so far as I'm concerned, it will need the help of the Ministry of Arts and Culture, where I think practically we have had meetings with the madam herself, and some stakeholders from the Creative Arts Council and the one sitting in now for the music presidency as a Bessa Simon. I think there are challenges that we need to just fix, and we can't fix them overnight. But the minister, per my last conversation with Honorable Kujon Ponkuma, who also, through him, we had a meeting with all these ones to also know where we are standing at right now. I think she is aware of every little detail of whatever needs to be done to get our monitoring system set up so that we can make monies off our user, because you play my song as Joy FM and all of that, but I have not practically gotten any statement whatsoever to say that, okay, this is what Joy played, this is how Joy clocked in, this is the login and where it. Nothing. I've never had that before in my life. And I hope it changes someday before I grow old, so that I know at least I've been able to see my work value. So aside that, that's on the royalty side. But aside that, running a label, an independent label by myself, I have people that I have employed, agencies and teams, management teams, people that form a management team across board who do get some sort of remuneration accordingly. Legal teams on standby and investing hugely in production as well. So now you have to also maintain the brand as an artist, both from the musical side and as a person and from the family side as well. So, and the responsibilities that come with being who you are. So you can understand that with all these things I'm saying, it's not an easy venture to run.
Precisely what's leading me to my next question, but I've got a few comments on social media. Let's just take them quickly before I read them though. Numbers to call 0302216541. That's 0302216541. You can also send us a comment on 0244340437. I've got a comment from Kwabena. He's from Sunyani. He says, "My boss Stonebwoy, much love with wins and success. Listening to you live from Sunyani." So, with all these responsibilities that you talk about, Stonebwoy, let me ask you. I mean, you've got a staff that you're working with. You have to pay them and all of that. It's from your own perspective, and I know this is not a political statement, so you are talking to only me. Don't worry. Is it lucrative to do only music in Ghana, or must the musician diversify?
Thank you very much for this question. Music actually is supposed to be one of the most lucrative endeavors or ventures that any person can get into. It sells. It's like, because everybody uses, we've been using music ever since.
But does it pay in Ghana? It sells, but does it pay in Ghana?
Exactly. Once it sells, then that means that it's capable of making us, making you rich or making you very, very wealthy. But that's what I said earlier on. The systems in Ghana is such that you don't see your money. You only keep feeding the system, and it is the other way around. That you have to feel like you have to. It's not like you have to feel like it's the other way around. You don't get paid for what you produce. You have to pay to even give to people. After production. So it's a very, very, very lucrative thing. But the diversification of assuming all that I am now is music. Which is the only hustle that I have actually hustled from when. And if I do not make enough of that hustle, how am I going to be able to also invest that into different things, or even be able to channel through and succeed in developing other branches of the whole musicianship? Because this is a very big career that doesn't affect just the musician alone. It benefits a whole lot of people. It gives employment to thousands and thousands of people. I can mention the DJs, not only the DJs, the publishers, everybody finds where
there's a whole value chain.
So there's a value, there's a value chain with it. And it all starts from one man's music, one man's voice, a face, an image. So
let's talk about paraphernalia, T-shirts, clothes, baseball caps, branded items. Is that also a sort of, should I say, lucrative source of revenue for musicians today in Ghana? Is this something they can explore?
Yes, please. It's something musicians can explore. And even so, that then leaves the shores of the musician only. and goes into any man who wants to do business. We all know that people printing a lot of my being stuff that I printing, have always been replicated in the market or on the market by other individuals who are not musicians. So what I mean to say is that it doesn't only feed the musician, even if it is not lucrative. It doesn't only feed the musician. There, you find out that there is a realization that it can feed just anybody, and anybody can jump onto that guide. So it is. Okay. Paraphernalia or merchandising also brings a lot of revenue. We all buy clothes. Basically, it's about selling clothes and selling, providing a need,
Right.
But with a brand attached. So,
okay.
Like the Gucci's, they are just clothes, but it's just the name. You're buying the name,
I think I have a caller on the line. Let's pick that call and then. Hello, good afternoon. You're welcome to Masterclass.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Talk to me.
I must commend my brother for that brilliant initiative. Yeah, so I just want to inquire, when is he going to reach us also in the Volta region? This is an indigenous from the land.
Right. Okay, so that's Frank from Ashongman. There's a question for you, Stonebwoy. He says that, first of all, well done for what you've done with Ashaiman, but seeing as you are also a son of the soil, when are you extending this to them in the Volta region?
Thank you very much. As we all know, the Volta region is a big place as much as Ashaiman alone is. So I am a son of the soil, a very proud one, and I would also, it's all in the plans together, like
it's
we were speaking earlier on. It's in the works,
right.
Like we were speaking earlier on. Like you said something that really it gave me a lot of encouragement. Like there are a lot of companies who are on the fence, just waiting for people to make a move, and then they can come in to support to make it bigger and drive it. So now that we've been able to make the move, helpfully by Barrister Music Group, the Beam Shop, and then Unity Link Money Transfer as well, this is what we've been able to do, and we're going to spread our tentacles. We're going to be able to employ more people for the Livingston Foundation who work for and then expand it, so that even without my presence, things can be going on and we can have a better place to all live in.
Super. I've got Mustafa on the line from Achimota. Let's talk to Mustafa. Good afternoon, Mustafa. You're welcome to Masterclass.
Thank you, boy.
I thought you were going to start by saying beam. Talk to me. Beam. Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to recommend Stonebwoy on the beam skills. And then also on the Angloga Junction album. Well, the Angloga Junction album has really helped us during the quarantine and isolation. Yes, so that's what I wanted to recommend.
Okay, thank you so much for calling. We're grateful for your call. So we've got a few more minutes on the show. I wanted to ask you about your thoughts. We talk here on the show about a number of things. I mean, theories of customer service and all of that. But before I go there, I just want to ask you, your new song, right? Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah.
I actually want to play it for you. I want to play a few minutes for you, and then you can talk about it. Yeah. So let's take a listen, and then I'll come back to you shortly, and you just tell us about it.
All right.
I'm running out of time. Before you respond, though, Stonebwoy, I've got Kissy. I've got Kissy from New Ningo. Let's talk to Kissy. Good afternoon, Kissy. You're welcome to Masterclass. Hello, Kissy.
Hello.
Yes, Kissy, talk to me. You're welcome to Masterclass.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, Mr. Abanafu, good afternoon. Good afternoon to Bim Nelson, the president. Bim. Yes, please, I want to just congratulate Stonebwoy. He's done a very great initiative, okay?
Right.
And I hope those who have some today will help those who don't have. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kudos to him.
Thank you. That was Kissy from New Ningo. That was my last caller.
Thank you, bro.
Unfortunately.
But
tell us about this song as we round up. What's the message?
Nominate, right? Nominate?
Yes, Nominate. That's correct.
Yeah, Nominate is a beautiful love song. Like, you have to be proud of whoever you love. Not only in a sexual manner, but we have love. We have to spread love. People love somebody. You nominate somebody, you love somebody. Nominates them because they love you. So it's just a beautiful love song. Which when you look at the video, we're trying to project that Africanness, which this album is actually being about. As in, in the video we express that Miss Africa won so these are like direct and subtle messages that I'm trying to, put across because we have to continue to represent for where we are, be proud of ourselves because they go a very long way to open certain doors and then give us a certain perception in the eyes of the world. So that's what the song is about. Is about love, but that's the deeper reasoning behind it that I just expressed. It's on the Angloga Junction album. So I want everybody to go out there. We just hit 20 million streams on AudioMark only, which is the first and the biggest going on. And it's not by my might only. It is by the support of the people home and abroad who love to support and join in and share good music as well. So get on there, grab the album. The album is still in motion. We're going to activate the second part of promotion soon, whilst we obey the Corona vibe, whilst we go out there to do our EC cards as well, because we all don't have to forget it's election time as well. If you want to vote for who you have to vote for, you have to make sure you have the card because the law has passed it and we can't do nothing about it. You have to go grab it. So these are,
in a few seconds for me, Stonebwoy, in a few seconds, there are people who are listening to you who may not be musicians, but they're entrepreneurs, they're business owners. In this period where COVID has affected all of us, people less fortunate than ourselves are struggling to make ends meet. In about 30 seconds, speak to the world. People who have should help those who don't have. Speak to the world. 30 seconds.
Yeah, man. God bless everybody who is tuning right now. We are really thankful and grateful that we are alive because Corona is taking people's lives. So if you find ourselves awake every time, you can be asymptomatic or you can be showing symptoms. We're all involved in fighting this Corona pandemic. That's why due to that, people have lost their jobs. I'm not doing shows. I would have not probably been in the country by now. I'd be running around the world as usual. So we're all lacking one way or the other. But nonetheless, some people have not lacked, honestly speaking, because it has turned around for them. Their businesses are still, it might not be it has not dropped, it has maintained and hoping to rise in all these ways. That's why I think that with this God Bless initiative of the Bean Skills, this is the only way I can also reach out as a Stonebwoy brand, as a foundation, as a merchandise brand, to also reach out to rich people. I mean, if I say rich people, people who can spare something or two, for us all to continue to take this initiative around the place. And instead of giving people only fish, we teach them how to fish, because the fish is for a period of time. But teaching them how to fish would also encourage them to know that they have something to do with for a longer period. So I beg everybody to come on board. Like I said, I'm going to put out the email again so that we can get the emails and taking stuff from there. It is the Livingstone Foundation GH at gmail.com. So Livingstone, like Livingstone, one word, the Livingstone Foundation GH at gmail.com. And the number is also 020 80 30 73 4. So we're all involved. And thanks to everybody. Once more, thanks to Unity Link as well. Big shouts to Unity Link, y'all. If you want to send money from everywhere in the world to Ghana, make sure you use Unity Link as well and all of that, because we're all supportive of one another.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stonebwoy. I'm sure we'll try and get you in the studio for a much longer session, but we're so grateful for your time today. We're excited to
I'm really thankful as well.
This has been Masterclass.
Thanks to the whole team and the production.
Yeah, this has been Masterclass here on the Superstation. We will definitely try and do this again. My name is Yabana. For Up Next is the news at 2. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you same time next week.
God bless you, sir. God bless you.